Hello everyone, welcome to Taiwan is my home. I'm Liao Fangjie. Today we're going to tell you Henry, who has been in Taiwan for 22 years. Once he was a photographer, he also gathered the news and wrote articles. Later, because he's good at cooking, he married to a Taiwanese lady who loves delicacy. However, after they have children, he hopes to have more time to accompany their kids to prepare the cuisine without chemical additives for their kids. He thoughts about his childhood. When he was in US, he lived close to the farm. He always got some fresh milk and watched his mother handmade the cheese with fresh milk. He tries so hard and he finds the fresh milk in Taiwan without pollution and represents his mother's flavor. Okay. Every morning 8:30, Henry starts his day by bringing himself a cup of coffee. Pouring the fresh milk source in Taiwan, this is sterilized, pure raw milk without any additive. Henry starts to heat up and stirring it. After adding the yeast, he has to keep it in certain high temperature, place it, and adding rennet, and place it steadily. After several processes, this handmade cheese, which taken almost half a day, is finally done. We grew up with eating cheese and we all love to eat it, but we weren't bothered about making ourselves because it's just like making bread or brewing the beer. Hand making lets the things taste more interesting. At first, we just do it. Later, we make more and more. We don't have any choice. Usually after Henry makes the cheese, he will let his wife Feng try it. Today, what they have is this French sour cream, the regular items in their cheese factory. It's delicious. I think the fresh one is delicious. This is not fresh anymore, because I have taken it to defrost. It was being reserved for a week. We took it out from the freezer. It has been one whole day. How we met, it was an occasion of one of my friend's Thanksgiving party. He just loves to cook and I love to eat. However, I don't know how to cook and I thought, I must know this guy. I love cooking so much. Henry not only cooks often but also cooks more because his wife likes to eat more than him. I can't cook, but I admire and appreciate that a person who is willing to spend time and make efforts to cook a good meal for me. So I think our combination is complement each other. Henry is from US. His childhood home was near a ranch. On the way home, he often brought those fresh milk home, watching his mom made it into cheese. Grown up and coming to Taiwan with his wife and son, he also wants to share his memories of mom's flavor handmade cheese. What does it say on the red envelope? Wishing you a prosperous. When I met him, he hasn't started making cheese. In fact, because he had been in Taiwan for a long time, he misses his home very much. And that time in Taiwan, there wasn't many choice to buy the imported cheese, so after we met, he started to make some cheese. Teacher Daddy, what's it? Is it peace to you? This one with peace, but this word is called prosperous. Prosperous. Teacher Daddy, how to say prosperous. Leo is the son that Henry gets when he's almost 50 years old. Originally, Henry was a photographer. He gathered news and wrote articles. With his age, both he and his wife hoped to spend more time with their children. They also wanted to prepare the food without chemical additive for their children. Therefore, the couple gave up the jobs with high salaries, moving to Taichung from Taipei. Because after we have children, we really hope that maybe one day we could get rid of the life of the office workers and we could welcome our children at home while they come back from school. Then the whole family can sit down and have a good meal together. Originally, he just made for his family, now to present to the customers. Every problem of making cheese, you have to find a solution. So you can see the curd. Repeat cutting from coagulated milk after releasing whey. Bean curd like leftovers called clever. Different ratios of clever and whey can turn into different types of cheese. If added with other materials, cheese would change surprisingly. Then use the rod stick, slightly rub the cheese, set a temperature. Perfect. 80 degrees Celsius is such a hot temperature. Henry is forming whey shape. This is fresh mozzarella. This tests not only the skill of making it, but also experimental spirit. Henry has tried to make this kind of cheese for countless time, and he never stops. I have to learn from each time and try to make better than last time. She doesn't like this. Because sometime I will make the mess worse. I will try to fix it and try to start over. From a product to become a good commodity, we have to consider that whether the customers has this need or not. We compare with higher-end markets, it's sale or the fine quality of imported cheese. But speaking of the freshness, on Mondays, this fresh squeezed milk is dispatched on Tuesday, it reaches us here, soon made to cheese. On Wednesday, we sent out the cheese to our client's address. Such fresh cheese currently in Taiwan, nobody else do this. At the beginning of this experimental time, middle in the way, Henry even went to Italy to charge himself and got the certificate of professional master. And when he came back to Taiwan, however, the master cheats the trade, but the apprentice skill is still made. Just like making the mozzarella, I have been trying not just a year, but over a year. Once I failed it, I had to stop and go out learning and come back. Now I try to be more professional. It takes a while. The process is difficult. I didn't know what's the reason of the failure. Maybe because of the milk or the weather. I'm not sure what process I did wrong. If I made something that is not what I want, I will keep making until I do it better than last time. He doesn't take the failure as a mistake. Instead, he takes it as a beautiful beginning. Just like the corn soup he is cooking now without any kind of powders, only with corn, chicken broth and cheese, he could present the stiffness. What Henry adds in the soup is the modified ricotta cheese. He calls it modified. That's because he made a mistake while he was doing it. It made Henry's ricotta cheese harder. However, he came out with an idea with salt and fresh cream. It becomes the one and only exclusive products only in Henry's kitchen in Taiwan. Every time I made a mistake on the process of making cheese, a new flavor of the cheese would come out. Just like making cheddar or brie, it's impossible for me to compete with a master who is experienced. So I think I tried to make new flavor and new texture of cheese. It's more interesting than making traditional cheese. Of course, I will still make the traditional cheese, but I also want to make my own taste, personal flavor cheese. In fact, every product, a foreign product, it took such a long time to invest it. Just making a cheese till now, we have tried for 5 years to make experiments. Henry likes to stay in the kitchen. All his fantasy ideas in his head, he makes those ideas true. And his wife is on the rein, holding him up when he is rushing too fast. Well, because you think we only have 24 hours a day, I think the power comes from repeatedly making one thing again and again and keep repeating doing something. In the end, his death would produce a big power. So what he once tried to do included the bread, the sausage, and he wants to make the sausage, the cheese, the cake, anything you could think of. He also wanted to run a restaurant. However, so far only 2 of us. And we still have a little kid. How is it possible? Even if I have 26 hours a day, I can make it. Choosing to stay in foreign land, doing something that no one is doing, finding the answer after he fails, he has to try to get the tool he needs. The curd is very hot and sticky, so I have to stop cooking the curd. If I continue heating it, the curd will degenerate. I usually use the bag for making soy milk. However, the bag I have now is not the filter cloth for cheese. I haven't got that in Taiwan. I will keep looking for it. I'm trying to use different filter cloth. The filter cloth for making curd, Henry replaced the filter cloth with soy milk filter cloth, which is made in Taiwan. The mold for cheese is the mold for making tofu. I can get it across the street. There is an old man selling it there. The great part of Taichung is suddenly you get some case, there will be a small shop selling the items you want. Just like the lads you're talking about. Henry was a U.S. Navy before he was not a stranger to Asia. Being in Taiwan for 22 years, he not only focuses on making delicacy for his family. Learning Mandarin is not able to be arranged to his long to-do list. I only try to speak some Mandarin to the taxi drivers on the road. I never seriously learned Chinese. I was an awful student. I only focus on my own thing. Photography, filming and writing, making cheese and other cuisines. Those are not problems for me because I don't need to talk to anyone. No matter it's English or Mandarin. I think I have problems of communication. I'm not even able to talk to my wife, Brenda, my son, or to my friends. I think it's difficult. Mom, this is the corn chowder that Henry cooked with chicken broth. The corns are all organic, not good at talking. Henry crossed the language barriers by his cuisine and conquer his parents-in-law's stomachs. Perfect. Perfect. Are you just talking in Taiwanese and Mandarin? It's perfect. Especially when my son-in-law doesn't speak fluent Mandarin, there was an adjustment period of a language and lifestyle. Yes, a long period of time to bond with him. Most of foreigners, they care more about their privacy. So if you go to their home, yes, it's better to tell my daughter in advance that I'm going to visit you and my grandchild. Just like corn soup with ricotta cheese, both Henry and his wife often launch cooking with cheese. Recipe Journal hope to open a Taiwan market one day, making Taiwanese-style unique cheese. The cheese specialist. Specialist means that I use both of my hands making it especially created for you. This kind of cheese, this matter is very precious. So we think with so many ideas, we focus on doing it the best way. After we're stable, we can think about then what are our next steps. Henry depends on cooking obsession for his passion towards cuisine, turning milk into cheese. Let the pure delicacies return to family, return to clients. Next, we're going to see an American priest, which is more like a Hakka than a real Hakka. 28 years ago, Michael came to the Hakka village in the Hsinchu Fukui from USA in order to acquire the local dilute dialect of Sudong. He especially hired a tutor to teach him to speak 2 hours a day. And when he goes to the grocery shopping and the traditional market, he will practice it. He also found out that music is the thing to shorten distance and improve the relationship. He not only learned how to play the traditional instrument, but also blend in the Hakka tune and flat note with Bible verses and make the melody which is easy for the Hakka people to sing. Beautiful song with Hakka style. Chu, who is playing Zhongshan harp, many says he's more than a Hakka, than a real Hakka. One day I went to a park. My friends and I went to a park. I saw an instrument. He has Zhongshan piano. I didn't know what it is, so I went back to Hukou and asked people about this piano. And the people who sells this explained to me. He told me it's Zhongshan piano. I told him if it's hard to learn it or not. He said it's not hard, because I think this instrument is related to Hakka song. Using ancient piano for Hakka song is a bit weird, but I think I could use it for my job. The job Michael's talking about is missionary. 28 years ago, he came from Minnesota, USA, to a Hakka village in Hsinchu, Hukou. At that time, the Christianity is still foreign to the locals. It's just like the Hakka Chinese to him. However, Michael observes carefully. He thinks music is the best way to shorten the distance between people. There are many songs modified by my friends, pieced fun. He rewrites many songs and I rewrite some part. Today, what we heard is others' version. Today, originally, I wanted to sing a song rewritten by myself. Shall we pray first to seek God's encouragement and comforts? After acquiring how to play a traditional instrument, Yevon combines the Bible verses with Hakka tones and the flat notes to let the Hakka people sing easily. A different missionary way is how Michael presents doing as a Roman and in Rome. At that time, he brought his wife and a pair of little children coming to Taiwan, unfamiliar with the environment and the language barriers that only depended on their passion to support them. After long college, I studied in seminary. I got married with my wife, and at the beginning, I was a priest at one place. I just encouraged my church that you should support the missionary in other countries, to devote, to encourage, to help. A friend came to Taiwan first in a Hakka place. He was getting busier, so he wrote to us that to pray for them. God will move people and calls people to Taiwan. One day we went to a special event, and when we drove home, my wife said, "Okay, we can go, can we?" I said, "Okay, let's ask." Michael asked permission to come to Taiwan from church. After coming to Taiwan is the beginning of all the hard work. Because there are different dialects of Hakka Chinese and the pronunciation is changeable. In order to acquire the local Hailu dialect of Judong, Michael hired a tutor and spent 2 hours a day training his speaking ability constantly. Because to most people, if he learned Mandarin first is not plain to him, he won't leave his job to learn Mandarin. If you learn Chinese or Hakka first, if after you acquire the language, you still have to learn Chinese because it helps your church. Most of them still use Mandarin. There weren't books without books. We learned Hakka, need a secondary school teacher come. We use English to tell what we want. He teach what we want to learn. Then after a day, morning to afternoon, we go to the market in the morning, speaking with others, practicing every day. Otherwise, you will forget. If you forget, you feel sorry, you feel pain in the heart. There's no shortcut for learning languages. Michael's Hakka improved so fast, all depending on the help of the ladies in the traditional market. How may I help you? What's this? Pork jerky. It's not special, it's the pork jerky. No, it's not beef, it's pork. So starting from going to the traditional market, have to use the easy way. Must hear clearly to buy things. Thanks, you're welcome. Chili. Chili. Thanks. Chatting with everyone in the market, grocery shopping and practicing at the same time make Michael a famous person in the local area. However, he has a special nickname. Local people call him Boss. He is the boss here. The couple is awesome. They could speak both Hakka and Taiwanese language. We can't say something bad behind them. I remember there was a time a friend asked us to buy a toy and brought back to USA. I asked people, how much is it? Maybe 300 NTD. I bargained with him like 2 for 500, okay? He told me that you are a foreigner, American or rich. You have to bargain with me. Oh, mine. He is shocked. Actively got blended in the local life. Besides going to the shopping in the traditional market, Michael is just like the locals, likes to take walks. Every 2 days, he goes to 18 Peak near him, and when the fluent Hakka was spoken out from him, it usually amazes people. Speak English? No, is your English good? It's very good, very good. He's from Chiao Tung University. My English has been slipping. In these 28 years, my English have been slipping. But my Hakka has been improving. My Hakka is getting better. Hakka is good. It's difficult to learn Hakka. Take your time. Happy New Year! At the 1980s, when Chu just came to Taiwan, there was no Hakka version of Bible in Taiwan. He already started to make Hakka poem and songs. Not only this, Michael even opens a class teaching people singing Hakka folk song. His devotion to Hakka culture make Hakka people trust and rely on this foreigner. Let's read Bible and pray. Okay? It's easy. When you are in the Chinese New Year, let's start reading. New Year. Think it's great he speaks fluently. I respect him. He knows how to comfort when someone passed away. He is especially good at comforting people with broken hearts. In fact, the thing I remember most is a few years ago, continuously, his father passed away, brother passed away, and his sister passed away. At that time, I just realized that the priest is actually vulnerable too. So we went to his home, comforting him. However, we learned how to comforting people from him. Michael often says that Hakka people are similar to his ancestors, with great virtue of thrifty and loving family, which makes him feel no barriers to living in Taiwan. Coming to Taiwan, devoting himself into Taiwan for almost 30 years, Chu said he gives his biggest credit to his wife's song. Okay, I'm home. Everything is good? Not bad. This is our home? See? It's a different feeling. There are many things. This is my wife's patchwork. My mom always said, thanks to the Lord, I don't come here alone. I have a good wife. We do things together. Music, inviting people, encouraging people. Sometimes we go together. She helped me a lot. It is very good. Song came to Taiwan with Michael at the time. Now she speaks fluent Hakka too. She even acquires good skills of Hakka patchwork. Couple in harmony, they did their best in Taiwan. During the interview, we surprisingly found out an interesting thing. This is his birthday gifts. So you are giving him forwards. But these forwards are very interesting. What do you want? I'm afraid of my wife. Wife is afraid of me. I'm afraid of my wife. No, you're wrong. Wife is afraid of me. It's better in this way. I think I'm going to be a carpenter, make it straight, 4 pieces. Whoever gets up first, he or she can decide who's the boss today. 30 years marriage, the way Michael and Song get along together is still interesting, just like their young age. Michael says that it's the realest way of him and his wife. Sometimes I would go out by myself on purpose to let her relax because she likes to do handcraft. Patchwork, she likes to make clothes and knitting. These make her happy. My personality is more outgoing. My wife is shy, so sometimes she will tell me that you go outside and have fun with your friends. I want to stay at home and get some quietness. When I come home, I'm happy, she's happy too. So it's really a big blessing that we are able to be together. Satisfied with appreciation, Michael says that his wife is the greatest gift from God, and coming to Taiwan is the greatest blessing to him. He don't like to wear suits, only Chinese clothes, drink less coffee but more oolong tea. Taiwan Hsinchu has been an inseparable home to him. Love the scenery of Taiwan. There are many beautiful places. We have been to many places. I like to be in the mountain especially. This is a very special Hakka dish. It's rice dumpling. It's salty dumpling. It's tasty. Every time I speak Hakka, mochi is delicious. Salty veggies. There are many delicious cuisine. After I go back to USA, it's going to be hard to find this kind of vegetable. If you don't learn it now, later you will feel that there are many Chinese dishes. When we go back, my children would say, Mom, please make us some Chinese food. Love everything in Taiwan with his true heart and spread the Hakka of culture. Michael hopes that local people can still singing the Hakka folks songs continuously with their mother tongues. Let's take a break. Later we're going to tell you that how a cold heart gets warm because of the handmade soap. Liu met her Taiwanese husband in Beijing after they got married. They planned to settle down in Beijing, however, her mother-in-law was sick. Her husband's family was in chaos. She decided to take care of her mother-in-law in Taiwan with husband. This is definitely a filial piety. However, she's not familiar to here at all. After a while, she self-isolated herself. At this time, she got in touch with handmade soaps which gave her the warmth and give her a space to quiet her heart. Hello, Sister Pan. What are you doing? I'm making soaps, breast milk soaps. How nice. Breast milk soaps. I was going to do this another day. Why is the water? In these days, yes, it rains these days. The humidity is higher. The humidity, the soaps we made ourselves contains a high portion of glycerin. The glycerin will soak in the water in the air, so in these days it becomes greasy. After a few days, it's okay, because I didn't know what I wanted to do, or what should I do. Anyway, I have nothing to do, and my heart was restless and whimsical. I thought there's nothing better in Taiwan than in China. The first few years when she just came to Taiwan, Liu said that she picked on herself every day, just like what she said, her heart is restless. In other words, she has homesick. Frankly speaking, she has short temper. However, when she makes the soaps, her emotion feels better when she's making the soaps, because I can really feel that everything is strange to her when she just came to Taiwan. Being married for 9 years, lived in Taiwan for 7 years, Liu told us that in Beijing, she met her husband who is a businessman. After they got married, they originally planned to live in Beijing. When we got our marriage certification in Beijing, before we got the certificate, my husband and I had a deal that he's going to buy a house in Beijing and he won't move back to Taiwan. However, her mother-in-law got sick. Liu accompanied her husband to visit families in Taiwan, and she never had the chance to use the return tickets. After we come back to Taiwan, my mother-in-law's health was getting worse and worse by day. At first, we took her to the clinic and they couldn't find the reason. And the reason came out as lung adenosarcomania. The whole family was panicked. I just thought that I didn't want my husband to regret, so I just stayed in Taiwan with him to take care of my mother-in-law. For the relationship and the filial piety, Liu chose to stay in Taiwan and let her husband concentrate on taking care of his mother. However, living in the foreign land without friends that she could talk to, she isolated herself gradually. Actually, you should add more essential oil because of the smell of the essential oil is not that condensed. I was really depressed and I didn't want to go out or make friends outside. I just stay at home whole day, ate, slept, and watched TV at most. It has been half years. Suddenly, I thought that when I was in Beijing, I met a friend. He is Taiwanese and he learned how to make soap in Taiwan and sold those handmade soaps in Beijing, and his business was really good. So I just thought, since I have been already in Taiwan, maybe I can go learning it because it's more convenient to learn here. Liu found the handmade soaps program in the community college. At that time, she was pregnant. It's not easy to work around for her. It's a bit tiring to attend the class. However, she was 100% sure that this is the thing she wants to do. You will never fail in the class because the teacher will guide you. I failed when I made it at home. Sometimes when the soap is made, it looks like the pineapple pasty. It looks crispy. When you cut it, it falls apart. This means I failed. But at that time, most of the reason I couldn't find the reason why I failed. I like handmade soaps, keep doing this. So I was thinking, I make this soap today and a different one tomorrow, and a different one tomorrow. I make too much. After making too much that I have no one to give anymore, Liu left hometown since she was 16 to a coffee shop in Beijing. Now Liu settles down in Chiayi in Taiwan. She's further from her home. Liu thought, what if she couldn't send her handmade soaps back to her hometown? At least she could give it to her newborn daughter. Originally, I was planning that I have to make a better soap for my baby before she was born and use that soap for my baby. When I was pregnant for about 8 months, One day after I come back from getting the ingredients, I was bleeding. I went to the hospital. The doctor told me I have to lay in bed for 1 to 2 weeks. I couldn't able to get up from bed. I was reluctant to stay on the bed. I forced myself to get off the bed and made a very popular olive soap for my baby, the pure olive soap. Originally, making this kind of soap, you should only take an hour. At that time, I made a pot of soap. I felt sour when it stood up. I was afraid I will bleed again. I might give birth in advance, so I was very carefully. Off and on, I made some progress and got back to rest. I made some progress and went back to this rest, just like this. I made it slowly. It took me about 2 to 3 hours to finish that soap. I was very anxious, maybe because I haven't done it for a while. I was so anxious that it might become solid and it won't become the breast milk soap. Actually, just the container, you just have to be careful when you change the container. The other parts are fine. See, sometimes when I was alone, if my baby cries, I leave and go hugging him, it won't hurt. The soaps I make here usually use breast milk as base. Most of them are breast milk, replacing water, because when we make from that, the color won't be too pretty, all kind of milky white. Not the pretty colors, but I care about the content instead of the looks. We make this soap under a cold condition. Cold means leaving it in a low temperature. We keep it cold to get the saponification. If the temperature is too high, the contents of the oil will be damaged. Handmade things can make one truly relieved. Especially after she becomes a mother, she wants to give the best handmade soap to child, so she especially goes to Tainan from Chai, attending the lessons one by one, making and learning about the handmade soaps days and night. Husband, seeing her using all her might, suggested why not open a soap shop. Sometimes I also can feel the eagerness towards it, really. Chai didn't have this kind of shop. Since she buys so much on it, decided to let her give a try. The shop is open like that. However, her husband has to take care of their mother who is sick. All the preparation of opening a shop, Liu was busy around, alone. On that day, the day was getting dark and the dark winter came. I just took my children. My first baby was just 6 or 5 months old. The kid just laying there. I cleaned the cupboard there. The shop was going to open the next day. I was cleaning those things. My friend just came in and asked me for the direction. And he was asking for the direction. Oh my God, I was shocked. I didn't know the road at all. I never went out by myself alone before. Help me to clean. Thank you, just clean it. I can't afford a cleaning worker. Really? Yes. I happened to park in front of their home. After I parked my car, I came in and asked for the direction home. See how I drive home. She said I didn't know. I was thinking, how come she doesn't know? She is from China. That's the reason. She didn't know. Then I saw herself was busy around the shop. I just asked her, what are you doing now? She said her shop is going to open tomorrow. I said that your shop is going to open tomorrow. No one helps you out? She said, no, I can do it myself slowly. In the end, I didn't ask the direction home. I just thought to give her a land. And after knowing she's from China, myself was the second generation from China. The second generation of Chinese have a straight, nice personality. She not only helps her with the shop, but also mentors Liu for her personality. She just asked us how the business goes. I just told her that I really didn't know whether it's right or wrong to open this shop, because originally there was only one customer in 3 days. Originally I thought handmade soaps is so popular, how come no one comes in to buy something? 3 days, only one customer, just 1 or 200. Liu said that at the time she didn't even have the $50 to get her lunch often. She told me that if you want to give a class, I said of course, but where can I find the students? I just told her that. She said, I can find students for you. I said, sure. Although I promised to her, I just thought she was kidding. In the end, after a few days, she came to me and told me that she found several students, about 10 people. And she even found me a free venue for me to use. It's ready for the class. Liu was still worrying. Liu has the certificate of lecture teacher, but she never gave lessons before. The moment she stood in front of stage facing students would really freak her out. 2 pieces for each, okay, 2 pieces for each. At that time, when I taught there were a lot of people talking in the class. I was standing there, I didn't know what to do. In the end, Sister Nunu went there to told the students that everybody let's be quiet and listen to the teacher. Yes, just like this, she pulled me out and she brought me out. Today we're going to make a very high quality breast milk soap. It's the best soap in the market and is the most popular handmade soap now. It's categorized in the cold made. Cold means that getting saponification in a low temperature, but we still have to heat it up a bit, but not in a very high temperature. We just have to let the oil melt and don't leave in the high temperature. When I just met her, she just told me that. I asked what's the year of her mom. She said 1957. 1957 is the same age like me. I said, this child, I should really give her a hand. So at first, when I just met her, I just go directly that there's no really I shouldn't help. I'm old enough to be her mother. Making a living in a foreign land, Liu learns how to be strong with Sister Nunu taking care of her just like her mother. Liu got the fulfillment she had never before. She also got the satisfaction of being loved by families. Yes, it's just like my parental home in Taiwan. If I go out and my husband couldn't find me, the first person my husband I will call is her to ask her whether I'm there or not. I know that as long as I ask for help, no matter what, she will help. But I never bothered with her with trivial things. Unless I really need help, I will ask her. But I know as long as I ask her, she will help me anyway. She used to be timid, now she is happy to have a new life. Liu found a warm parental home in Taiwan. While she is making the handmade soap hard, she hopes to guard family's heart with her soap. Later, we're going to show you how a lady from Yunnan take care of the veterans in Taiwan, just like showing the filiprity to her own father, which is far, far away. Sheng formerly lived in Kunming in Yunnan and worked in a food and beverage business. When she was 27 years old, she left her husband from Taiwan because of love. She got married and come to Changhua in Taiwan alone. The only regret she has is that she never had the chance to take care of her father, who suffered from cancer in her hometown. Because of the transference, she turns to her tracing to her father into the cares to the veteran elders. She often went to perform in the veterans' home with some other new and bitter friends. She also visited them with handmade cake. Would looking for them make you think of parents? Yes, they are nice people. It feels like being home with them. Humming Yunnan tune, Sheng gave a thought. Our father was 1,000 miles away. Mom passed away at the age of 9. She lived with Dad, comforted by Dad's tune. Getting married and being in Taiwan for 15 years, Sheng often goes to perform in the veterans' home. With her good friends, who also come from the mainland China, she said there's like her parental home. Seeing the smiles on veterans' faces is just like the paying the filial pity to her own father. And the regrets of her heart is comforted a bit. This is the biggest regrets in my life, just like this, because I am married to a man who is far away from my hometown. My siblings live closer to home. They could go back anytime they need, they can go home, but I couldn't. Dear uncles, please be careful of the cold. Don't catch a cold. I want to greet everyone an early Happy New Year. Because I'm going back to China on this Friday to get reunion with my father, to have New Year's with family. Shen was working in a food and beverage business in Kunyang when she was 27 years old. She met her husband from Taiwan. With countless phone calls from her husband, Shen agreed to marry to this man who is 19 years older than her. Because of this love, she moved to settle down in Taiwan, Changhua alone. However, 3 years ago, the news from her hometown that her father got liver cancers, her heart is restless. Had been close to my father since I was little. Formerly, he suffered from liver cancer, and he had surgery because of liver cancer, but because we don't have the chance to take care of him, now I could only visit him once a year. Because I worry about him, the first thing I do after work is giving him a call to see how he's feeling. Keeping her father in mind, Shen really wants to take care of her father to Taiwan and take care of him here. However, her father is too weak. She could only give up this idea. Later, my father came here once. Now we asked him to come several times. Father can't be too tired, so we better wait until his health gets better. When body is not that weak or doesn't feel tired easily, he could come here later. She is tearful during the interview. Shen tried to hold her tears and emotions. She said her health is not good when she was little, and when her father took care of her, the strong and warm back is the best image in her memories. I was easy to get sick when I was little. As long as my father was home, he always held me on his back. It was the happiest moment for me. Wherever I go, except for the working times, even when I went to the restroom, he would wait for me outside. Shen turned her missing her father to taking care of these uncles. When she had time, she would bring cakes made by herself to see these seniors. Wholesome egg turned into yellow duff. Shen would go to bakery of her good friends. Besides helping, the most important thing is here is the loving land where she can make cake to give out the veterans' home or the children's home. If I go to see them because I'm close to my father, because seeing so many uncles is just like being with my father and my own family. After all, myself can't show my filial piety to my own parents. Being with these elderlies is just like showing my filial to my own parents. Making cakes skillfully, putting down minced meat just like her steady life. Shen is 42 years old. 5 years ago, she divorced from her husband and became single again. Her financial is not wealthy. However, fortunately, her ex-sister-in-law gave her a hand in time, not only offering her job, her sister-in-law even helped her with her daughter's tuition fee. Financial pressure is quite heavy. I have to still work hard after I have parents and child to raise. It's my fate. I don't blame anyone. I take my daughter to have a happy life, earning money hard. If I can go back to see father once a year, I'm satisfied. Day go long is satisfied. Shen concentrate on making cakes and pouring her mind to thought into the cake. We all came to Taiwan from far away. The feeling of family when you have something frustrating in daily life or about your job, or you worry about something or have something not right, we will talk to each other. She will tell me and we will chat with each other. With joy full mind, of course, the working efficiency would improve and our lives would be more delightful. We will complain to each other and listen to each other and encourage and support each other. We will also share about something happy with each other. In the bakery business, usually on Sunday and Saturday, the business is best on holidays. Most of the time, they are also off on Sunday and Saturday. So with this time, we have similar time point. if we get too many orders to make it, of course I will ask someone to help. Basically, they will ask me actively, do you have orders on Sunday, sister? Do you need help? Even if we don't tell her, she will ask us actively. The white round cake, just baked. Good taste of salty and sweet, just like life. Maybe it doesn't always go as we wish, but Sheng always works hard to make it interesting. Stir-frying Yunnan home dish with fire. Spicy chicken with potatoes is the secret recipe is the hot spicy sauce made by her father. Most of the time, I will tell him when we go home in advance, and he will make it and bring it back when I come back. It has the taste of my father. Yes. When I am homesick, I will make myself some. It's a happy feeling. Yes, because there is father's love inside. Sheng said that after she got divorced, she was planning to take her daughter back to Yunnan. However, her daughter couldn't get accustomed to the school in Yunnan. Only staying for a month, mother and daughter came back to Taiwan. The spelling is different from Taiwan. It's hard for me to get accustomed to it. And we still think it's better to be in Taiwan. Father and daughter is not a choice question, and there's no choices. Considering her daughter's studies, Sheng had no choice but to move back to Taiwan unexpectedly, not for too long after they moved back. Her father's health got worse. I was devastated at that time. I burst into tears. I didn't know what to do. At that moment, when I heard my father's news, I was really helpless. So I could only call and talk to my sister-in-law. She helped me a lot. She booked the flight tickets for me. She took care of everything at home for me here in Taiwan. She's just like my mother. I'm thankful to her. They are just like his sisters. Sheng is full of appreciation, never forgets each other's favor. Although she's not able to stay by her father's side often, but every Chinese New Year holiday is her happiest time to go back to her Yunnan hometown. As long as we are together, it's okay to go anywhere. Yes, because it is how it's when I go home. As long as he is here, I will be there, like this, here. This is how we will be when I go home. When I go home, if he goes out, he will invite me. And if he is at home, I will stay at home with him. This is how we always are. We're always young, that always like to go out for fun. Now every time I go back, I think we only have few time to be together. I cherish the time like this. Every conversation about her and her father, all he cares is her father. Sheng's warm and kind personality, even facing the difficulties in her life, she's still very tough, because to her, the most important people in her life is her father and her daughter. As long as they are good, she will have the full power to strive continuously in Taiwan. Thank you for watching Taiwan is My Home today. I'm Liao Fangjie. See you next time.